Cleveland Browns versus Cincinnati Bengals. A pair of American Football Conference North rivals are set to clash as two teams from Ohio, both grappling with underwhelming seasons, take the field. The Cleveland Browns will travel to face the Cincinnati Bengals this Sunday afternoon. In their previous outing, Cleveland suffered a 21-7 home defeat to the Kansas City Chiefs, falling short as 4.5-point underdogs. Meanwhile, Cincinnati claimed an impressive 37-27 victory on the road against the Tennessee Titans, successfully covering the spread as 6-point favorites. Historically, the Bengals hold a 54-48 edge in the all-time regular season series and have triumphed in the last two meetings, including a 21-14 road victory earlier this season on October 20th. This Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals will host the Cleveland Browns in what could prove to be a pivotal game for the home team's playoff aspirations. Quarterback Joe Burrow and his squad are clinging to hopes of securing the American Football Conference's final wildcard spot, but achieving that goal will require them to win their remaining games and receive outside assistance. Their momentum is building after a solid 37-27 road win over the Tennessee Titans last weekend. While not flawless, the performance showcased their defense's resilience as they forced 4 interceptions and recovered 2 fumbles. On the other hand, the Cleveland Browns are struggling to find their footing. They benched backup quarterback Jameis Winston after he threw 3 interceptions in their 21-7 loss to the Chiefs. Third-string quarterback Dorian Thompson-Robinson is now set to start against Cincinnati. Adding to their woes, star running back Nick Chubb sustained a season-ending foot injury, casting doubt on the team's ability to mount a competitive challenge. The Browns have struggled both against the spread and straight up in their last 6 games, losing 6 consecutive road contests. Historically, these two teams have played close games, but this matchup appears poised for a decisive victory by the Bengals. With Cincinnati fighting for its playoff life and Cleveland seemingly looking ahead to next season, the scales are tipped heavily in the Bengals' favor. The Browns, now relying on their third-choice quarterback, have been dismal on the road this season with a 1-6 record. Their only road win came against the 3-11 Jaguars, and their average road loss margin is 12 points per game. Given these trends, the Bengals are expected to secure a victory by at least 9 points. The Browns' decision to start Dorian Thompson-Robinson at quarterback this week reflects their desperate circumstances. While Cincinnati's defensive struggles this season might offer a glimmer of hope for Cleveland's offense, expectations for Thompson-Robinson should remain cautious given his limited experience at this level. Offensively, Cincinnati boasts one of the league's most dynamic units and already secured a win over Cleveland earlier this year. In past seasons, Cleveland's defense might have kept them competitive in such matchups. However, this year's unit ranks 26th in overall defense, allowing an average of 25 points per game. Additionally, star defensive end Myles Garrett has yet to practice this week due to a back injury, further diminishing their ability to pressure Joe Burrow. The clear offensive disparity gives Cincinnati a significant edge, making the Cincinnati Bengals to win and cover the spread as favorites our full-game side pick. Cleveland has played in lower-scoring games this season, with 8 of their 14 matchups staying under the total. On the road, 4 of their 7 games have also fallen under, including their last 2 overall. Conversely, Cincinnati has been a high-scoring team, going over the total in 10 of their 14 games this season, including 6 of their last 7. At home, they've exceeded the total in 5 of 6 games, with their season opener against New England being the lone exception. While the under has prevailed in 4 of the last 6 meetings between these teams, Cincinnati's recent defensive lapses, surrendering at least 20 points in their last 6 games and 27 or more in 4 of them, make it challenging to back an under in this instance. The Bengals come into this matchup aiming for their 3rd consecutive win and have the benefit of playing at home. They boast the league's most potent passing offense but are offset by one of the worst defenses. Meanwhile, Cleveland is reeling from 3 straight losses, managing only 21 combined points in their last 2 games. Although the Browns might find some success against Cincinnati's vulnerable secondary, the potential for turnovers remains high, particularly if Jameis Winston sees action. Cincinnati's track record of high-scoring games suggests that this contest is likely to be another shootout. Expect the trend of overs to continue in this matchup. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Tennessee Titans versus Indianapolis Colts. The beleaguered Tennessee Titans will travel to Indianapolis this Sunday to face the Colts in a pivotal American Football Conference South clash. The Titans are in the midst of a dismal season, holding a 3-11 record and riding a 3-game losing streak as they approach what seems inevitable, a top 5 pick in the upcoming NFL Draft. Meanwhile, the Colts are at 6-8 and barely holding on to their slim playoff chances following a defeat at Denver last week. Earlier this season, the Colts eked out a narrow 20-17 victory over the Titans in Tennessee. Statistically, the Titans' defense has performed admirably this season, ranking in the top 10 against both the run and the pass. However, the defense has been hampered by an offense that frequently turns the ball over, often leaving opponents with advantageous field positions. The Titans have also struggled to prevent opponents from scoring touchdowns in the red zone. With their current position in the standings, losses could benefit the Titans more than wins, as they compete with several other struggling teams for one of the top 3 spots in the NFL draft. The Titans have significant roster needs and would benefit immensely from a high draft pick. Adding to their woes, several key players, including starting running back Tony Pollard and 2 of their top 3 receivers, are listed as questionable for this week. With little incentive to risk their health, their availability remains uncertain. In contrast, the Colts still have faint hopes of a playoff berth, and their second-year head coach, Shane Steichen, has every reason to push for a strong finish to secure his position for next season. Having already defeated the Titans earlier this year, the Colts appear well positioned for another win. They are likely to apply consistent pressure on quarterback Mason Rudolph, which could force turnovers. Considering that the Titans rank 29th in the league in turnovers, this seems highly plausible. The Colts' greater urgency and superior preparedness give them the edge in this matchup. The Titans are enduring a season to forget, with just 3 wins and a dreadful 2-12 record against the spread. Conversely, the Colts, while not flawless, remain in the playoff hunt and view this game as an essential opportunity. Indianapolis has both won and covered the spread in their last 3 meetings with Tennessee. Furthermore, the Titans have a poor track record in similar situations, going 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 games as underdogs and 3-10 against the spread in their last 13 games as road underdogs. On the other hand, the Colts have been a perfect 4-0 against the spread in divisional matchups this season. While they have often been underdogs in those games, the Colts should have little difficulty covering the spread against a Titans team that has been abysmal in against the spread performance. Switching to Mason Rudolph as quarterback does not move the needle in Tennessee's favor, making the Indianapolis Colts to win and cover the spread as favorites our full game side pick. The first meeting between these teams earlier in the season fell short of the projected total, with both offenses struggling to generate points. The Colts have scored 20 or fewer points in 3 of their last 5 games, while the Titans have managed 19 or fewer points in 3 of their last 5 contests. Tennessee's quarterback situation further dampens their scoring prospects, as they remain one of the league's lowest performing offenses, ranking 27th in scoring. The Colts aren't much better, sitting at 23rd in the same category. The Titans could also be missing several key offensive contributors due to injuries, which would only exacerbate their scoring woes. While past matchups between these teams have occasionally been high-scoring, 3 of their last 4 meetings have failed to reach 40 combined points, including their earlier game this season, which ended with just 37 points scored. For Tennessee, the under has hit in 6 of their last 10 games, as the team has surpassed 20 points only 3 times during that stretch. Similarly, the Colts have seen the under in 5 of their last 10 contests, averaging just 19 points per game in that span. In this matchup, the first team to reach 20 points may very well secure the victory. As such, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Philadelphia Eagles versus Washington Commanders. Who is likely to emerge victorious in this highly anticipated Eagles versus Commanders matchup? On Sunday, the Philadelphia Eagles will face off against the Washington Commanders at Northwest Stadium. The Eagles, boasting an impressive record of 12-2 straight up, 9-5 against the spread, and 5-9 in over-under outcomes, are coming off a dominant 27-13 victory against Pittsburgh last weekend. Notably, Philadelphia has remained undefeated since the latter part of September. Meanwhile, the Commanders, with a 9-5 straight up, 8-5-1 against the spread, and 9-5 over-under record, edged out New Orleans 20-19 in their most recent game. However, Washington has struggled in recent weeks, going 2-3 in their last 5 outings. In their November 14th matchup, Philadelphia claimed a 26-18 win over Washington. The Eagles hold a 7-3 straight up advantage and a 3-5-2 against the spread record in their last 10 encounters with the Commanders. Last week, the Eagles offense finally showcased the dynamic passing attack fans had been waiting for. Quarterback Jalen Hurts frequently connected with wide receivers A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, leading to a commanding offensive performance against the typically formidable Pittsburgh Steelers defense. The Eagles won't encounter the same defensive challenge this week when they face the Washington Commanders, a team they know very well. Their November clash was closer in score than the stats would suggest, as missed field goals in the first half prevented Philadelphia from securing a double-digit victory early earlier in the game. Despite this, the Eagles dominated Washington, outgaining them by nearly 200 yards, averaging nearly 6 yards per carry, and rushing for over 200 yards. The Eagles' dominance in the trenches should carry over to this weekend's rematch. Defensively, Washington faces significant challenges. Their unit ranks 20th in opponent adjusted expected points added per play, 25th in rushing yards allowed, and 19th in rushing touchdowns conceded this season. The bigger issue, however, lies with Washington's offense. While rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels has had a commendable season and deserves recognition for elevating the offense, the Commanders lack the physicality up front and the skill on the perimeter to threaten an Eagles secondary currently performing as one of the best in the NFL. As a result, this matchup will likely hinge on ball control and sustained drives rather than explosive plays. Both teams have fared well against the spread this season, but only one can emerge victorious. The Eagles hold a stellar 6-1 against the spread record on the road and are undefeated both straight up and against the spread against National Football Conference East opponents this season. Jalen Hurts has excelled as a betting favorite, going 14-6 against the spread against teams with a winning straight-up record. Conversely, Jayden Daniels has struggled against quality opponents with a 1-3 straight-up and 1-2-1 against the spread record against teams above .500. Hurts has been a standout performer this season, accounting for 26 total touchdowns against just 3 turnovers during Philadelphia's 10-game winning streak. Meanwhile, the Commanders have faltered late in games, posting a league-worst 3-11 against the spread record in the fourth quarter. The Commanders' recent struggles, coupled with narrow victories over non-playoff teams like the Titans and Saints, do little to inspire confidence in their ability to upset the surging Eagles. Philadelphia has won 10 consecutive games and covered the spread in 7 of those matchups. They have been playing at a consistently high level on both sides of the ball and have a strong track record against Washington, including an 8-point victory just a month ago. Given these factors, the Philadelphia Eagles to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both the Commanders and Eagles are among the league's top 10 in average touchdowns per game, with each team posting 3.1 touchdowns per contest. Washington's rushing attack is particularly effective, averaging 155.5 yards per game, and the Commanders have hit the over in 9 of their 14 games this season, including a 4-1 record as underdogs. While Washington aims to prove its mettle on Sunday, it may fall short. However, the game promises exciting moments, as the Commanders are 10-3-1 against the spread in the first quarter this season and typically start strong. Philadelphia, on the other hand, has struggled early in games, going 3-11 against the spread in the first quarter. Nevertheless, the Eagles dominate in the second quarter with an 11-3 against the spread record, the second best in the NFL. Jalen Hurts silenced critics with last week's stellar performance against a tough Pittsburgh defense and will look to replicate that success against Washington. Despite the Eagles' formidable defense, the offensive talent on both sides, including Daniels, McLaurin, Hurts, and Barkley, sets the stage for a potentially high-scoring game. Considering Washington's vulnerability against the run, the Eagles are likely to utilize play action effectively after establishing their ground game. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.